What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Manbitesfilm, episode 83. We're almost
83,
there.
bitches.
We're almost there. As always, I'm your host, Branden. Joining me is the man rising from the ashes, Williamphoenix. I'm changing it up this week.
Hello, good evening.
And the
Okay,
man
Count
that
Dracula.
Hey, that's Dr. Acula to you, bitch.
Can you
And-
count at least?
What?
And the man that has become the newest mascot for Geico, my lovely cousin Lewis.
I'm definitely green. Definitely green.
Yeah, but the old mascot's got more hair.
Yeah, he does. He's got that comb over.
As always, if you are joining us for the first or 83rd time, we are a weekly movie podcast where we talk about movie news, we review one movie altogether, and then at the end we review 3 individual movies. So, Lewis, take it away.
So, first thing that I want to bring up, because fuck to the yes, Neil Gaiman, whatever the fuck you call
I think
his
it's
name.
Gaiman. I think it's Gaiman.
I don't know. They different people have said it different ways, so I don't know which way to say it anymore. But he is actually going to be releasing 2 seasons on Netflix, The Sandman. And yes, I'm so fucking excited for that because I don't read comic books.
Spider-Man bad guy Sandman?
No.
The better Sandman.
It's a
Metallica song?
No.
it's a comic book that was published by Vertigo, which is basically like the adult side of DC. It had nothing to do with superheroes. It was just like it was owned by DC, and they did like more adult themed.
So it can be true cinema, you know?
Yeah, fuck off. Actually,
Not
let me
getting
look up
baited.
before.
Not getting baited this week. Fuck off. So would this be like graphic novel style, or is this
Yes,
like
I was right. It is published by Vertigo, because I was like, you know what?
Yeah, it is. No, it is.
Let me
You can
look
do
it
that.
up before I make myself look like an ass. But yeah, no, it's Vertigo.
So, speaking of the latest debacle of true cinema and not, Jordan Peele jumped on the boat with Scorsese and Coppola and has said that, yes, he wants to see more original content come out in cinema, and he's tired of seeing these comic book movies as well.
Moving on.
Okay,
Don't
but
really
didn't
give a
Jordan
shit.
Peele, like, real quick, didn't Jordan Peele just release like 2 movies that were based on like original horror stories? He just spun it his way, so technically that's not original content. If you're gonna put out stuff that you took from something else, you can't sit there and be like, I'd like to see more original content. Then
Yeah, but
give
he
us
did his
more
spin on
original
it.
content.
He did
Yeah,
his own
so-
spin on it, completely different than what
Okay, and the
he grabbed the
MCU
original.
was a different spin on the comics because it wasn't
Yeah.
exactly true to the comics.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
it's not
we're moving
cinema.
on. We're not gonna waste more time on this week.
Yeah.
We're moving on.
Moving
Talking
on.
I'm telling
about
you, you and I need to like sit down and have an actual hour-long spew, yell it out, whatever, about this whole cinema versus not cinema and whatnot, and then really move on from there. But speaking of not cinema versus cinema, see, I can do it too. Matthew McConaughey has actually been tapped to play the Two-Face in the upcoming The Batman movie.
not cinema.
And, well, I mean, it's DC, so it's never cinema or even superhero for that matter. It's just there. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I'd like to see how he does it. You know, it's going to be interesting. Like,
I'm really like curious to see how the Batman turns out.
I am too. I honestly am. I'm interested to see how DC is going to recover from the train wreck that they've been doing for the last couple of years.
Well, not everything is a train wreck.
Not everything, because this last
Wonder
Joker
Woman,
film.
Wonder Woman was good, and I finally saw Joker.
I know,
record.
which I wanted to talk to you about it, but off air, of course, for the
Yeah.
people that haven't seen Joker.
So, speaking of Joker, actually,
Oh
this
my God.
is
Fucking A.
this is the highest grossing R-rated movie worldwide right
Yes,
now.
it is.
Not only that, but it is actually the highest grossing what do you call it? The highest profitable No, the highest
right?
profitable superhero movie, period, because of the profitability of it.
Okay. Question
And it
for
never
debate.
released in China.
You don't have to actually answer it because it could be a rhetorical question.
Rhetorical.
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 Torah.
Speaking of,
Shut up! Stop! Shut up! Okay.
This movie, and as a listener, by all means, comment and let us know. Should this movie fall under, like the last category that he said, superhero movie? Even though there's no superhero, and it's a completely brand new villain story, beginning story movie. I can't think of the word right now.
Are you yourself
origin story?
Lewis, are you yourself saying it's a superhero movie, or is that what they're putting it under?
That's what they label it as. I don't think it is.
They should label it as a comic book movie, not a superhero movie.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's a superhero
Joker
movie.
Should not qualify because he's not a superhero. Even you say like, oh, but he's still like a villain. But he's not even a super villain. He doesn't have any superpowers.
There is nobody in the movie. There is nobody in the movie that is a hero in Joker. It's just about him. You know, it's, I don't know. Yeah. Whatever.
Even Thomas Wayne is depicted as like I understand that he's like depicted as a villain because in the Joker's eyes, Thomas Wayne was a villain. But even the head of the Wayne family is depicted as a villain. So, which I thought was beautifully done. If you have it,
I agree 100%.
Where it's like there literally is no good guy in this movie, which was
Thomas Wayne is an asshole.
Yeah,
Thomas Wayne was a complete asshole in this movie.
He's a complete douche nozzle in that movie.
Up until this movie, every time we've seen any depiction or any talking about Thomas Wayne, he was always a guy for the people. He was always, you know, and he still is, but just the way that he's done in this movie, it's like, holy shit, like.
This is the other side of the coin. Villain. No pun intended. This is literally the other side of the coin.
This is Joker, not Two-Face. Try to stay us on this one.
I hate this shit, man. These segues are killing me.
So, perfect segue, actually. Christian Bale. Christian Bale has officially said that he is done gaining and losing weight for movies.
I fucking hate it, man. It kills me inside.
Which... I don't know if you've seen the latest film that he's in, but dude, holy shit!
The Ford for
yes.
What is it? Ferrari versus Ford or Ferrari?
Yes.
No, that's coming out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you see the trailer and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you see him.
The trailer. I'm looking forward to it. Which
he looks freaking crazy in it, dude. Like
he does not look that bad, dude. After The Machinist, he will never look anywhere near as bad as
he looks a little chubbier, if you want to put it that way, than. He did in Batman, but he's not like he hasn't gained like
you know who looked bad?
Like, not to like depict anything bad, but look at Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill goes from like really overweight to super fucking skinny. That's not healthy.
Look at Joaquin Phoenix in Joker.
Joaquin?
Shut up. He looks disgusting in that movie. Like he's like really, really like skinny.
He does, but I mean he's supposed to. But
I know
he does. He's definitely like. Method acting, that's what method acting is, which can be great, but it can also take a toll on your body. And especially like with people like Christian Bale, when like you were saying, like look at him in The Machinist and then look at him now. Like gaining and losing that much weight back and forth is not healthy in the long run. And I can understand why he's like, I'm not doing that anymore. Because like he probably went to the doctor and the doctor's like, if you do it one more time, you're gonna die. And he's like, all right, I don't want to die, so I'm not gonna fucking do it.
He talks exactly like that, by the way. Christian Bale sounds exactly as William was speaking.
I don't want to die, so
I don't want to die, so I'm not going to do
it. Which is funny because like I never thought like the movie's about like obviously Ford versus
Ferrari, right?
Yeah. The other day, me and my girlfriend came home and we're like, let's watch something on TV, or on one of the streaming networks, and we're like, sure, why not? And it took us like an hour to try and finally find something, and we settled on like, oh, by the way, if you haven't seen season 2 of Jack Ryan streaming on Amazon,
I haven't
seen the first season.
I've seen. Well, actually, the thing is, there's very little connection to the first season. So if you just picked up on season 2, doesn't make any kind of difference really. But season 2 is really fucking good. I'm only 3 episodes in, but holy shit, it's fucking good.
I really liked season 1 when I watched it last year, like a lot.
Season 1 was good.
Yeah.
Season 2 is like, I wouldn't say even better, but it definitely does not lose any steam.
Gotcha. Okay.
It doesn't have like the sophomore blues. But anyway, it took us a fucking hour to finally figure something out.
Uh-huh.
And then we were talking about our anniversary, which is coming up in like next week. So this was like last week, so it was like 2 weeks ahead. And we're like, we should go see a movie. And in my head, I went, fuck. I'm like, I should not have said that, because if it took us an hour to figure out a movie here, we're never going to pick a movie to go see at the movie theater. Like, this is going to go out the window. This is going to go south fast. And I'm like, there may be some good movies coming out that week.
The Tom Hanks movie.
So I look at it, and I'm like, there's a movie I don't think that you may be into. She's like, what? I'm like, Ford versus Ferrari. And she's like, oh, I want to see that. And I went, what? And she's like, yeah, I want to see that. I'm like, this is like the most anti-movie that you would ever want to see, and you want to go see it. She's like, yeah, like, it's actually, because I forgot, she likes biopics, and apparently this falls under biopics. So I'm like, all right. So literally in less than like 20 seconds, we picked the movie 2 weeks in advance to go see it in the movie theater. But we can't come home and sit and pick on something, which is like, I'm sorry, to me it was fucking mind-boggling. But anyway, and I know what you're going to say. Speaking of mind-boggling, so take it away.
I swear, bro, it's gotten to the point where I think my cousin just says, speaking of blah, and
hey, but they've been working out pretty damn well. They've been working out pretty damn well lately.
Shut your
Speaking
goddamn
about
mouth.
mind-bottling.
Bottling?
Bottling.
By the way, nice PS4 sound in the back, my dude.
Shut up. Put it on mute. What are you bottling about?
They are planning on rebooting the aforementioned.
Wow!
Wow, that's 2 mistakes in 30 seconds, but yeah, you give us hell.
Aforementioned.
But Boromir, Faramir, and Gwendolyn, he can say with no fucking problem.
Yeah, he can remember every single term from Lord of the Rings, like on a dime, and then anything that's like normal English, he's like,
If you mispronounce something in Elvish, he'll laugh at you, but he can't fucking pronounce,
aforementioned.
Scream is getting a reboot.
Oh, God.
Why?
Yeah.
They already gave it a reboot. It's a TV series, and it did okay. Leave it the fuck alone.
Wait for it. Even worse.
No, they're not bringing back Nev Campbell, are they?
Nope. It gets deeper down, of hell. It goes down to the next circle of hell. Disney is moving forward with the Mighty Ducks reboot.
Yeah, no.
I thought you were excited there for a second. I was like,
wow.
No. William is actually excited for this.
I'm still pissed that the Mighty Ducks is on the fucking Disney Plus. Coming out tomorrow at midnight for it, by the way.
Tonight at midnight, right?
When we're recording. Guys, earlier this week it came out. Hey guys, have you checked out the new Disney Plus app? It is the greatest thing. It's been out for 3 days.
By the way, so I'm like, I go online today because like my girlfriend kind of freaked me out. She was like, "Hey, get it now while it's $7." I'm like, "Wait, it's not $7?" So I like went on. I'm like, "No, it's $7." But I'm like, "Fuck it, whatever." And then I'm like, it's like pre-order Disney Plus now, and I'm like, "What am I pre-ordering?" Nothing. It's just
There's
a
nothing
streaming.
to pre-order.
It's just a streaming service. It comes out tomorrow. Like it was. And by the way they worded it on their website, it sounded as if like not everyone is going to have, the streaming service. Like only if you pre-order. And I'm like, I don't like how this is worded. I really don't.
It's called advertisement. They do that so people would actually get it.
I'm literally just waiting for the 12th so that I can sign up for the bundle.
Yep, that's what I'm doing too.
So you get a 7-day free trial, and then they charge you after those 7 days for the first month or whatever.
Yep.
But,
speaking of Disney, Star Wars has officially said that after Rise of Skywalker, they are going on a hiatus.
I'm okay with that.
They've said that for a while. That after
but officially, Disney hasn't officially said it. It's been news and it's been circulating as rumor, but never official.
Okay, so they're gonna take a break from Star Wars for a while. They took a fucking break from Star Wars from 1983 to 1998. What's the point? What's the big whoop flow?
99, not 98.
Okay, oh, I was off by a fucking year. Get off my ass.
Sorry.
So, 2021.
Wait. Does that mean that the Rian Johnson trilogy that he's doing
is not happening?
It's not happening at all?
Nope. Rian Johnson is actually jumping on a different project, which
fucking God.
I've heard rumors about. And
wait, in Star Wars or just
no, outside of Star Wars completely.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
This is speculative, and it's not in any way 100% sure, but the rumors have been circulating, and I've heard from various people in the industry that are saying that he is going to be jumping on one of the Avatar projects.
Man,
okay, so in other words, he's not doing shit for a long time.
Exactly.
That and also, man, I was so excited for his trilogy. I really
did too.
God
I was actually
damn
looking
it,
forward
man.
to it.
I'm
Fuck.
pissed about D&D fucking butchering Game of Thrones to go to fucking this Star Wars to then fucking jump bail on that.
I don't give a
too.
shit about those guys, dude. Oh my God, why Avatar? Fuck that franchise,
Again,
dude.
This is speculation. This is not 100%. He hasn't said anything official, but
why does everyone like that movie so much? It's okay.
I don't. Wait. What do you mean, everyone?
No,
I think it's a great movie. But
I'm generalizing, but
you, Lewis.
I'm generalizing, but why does everyone like that?
It's
why
true cinema.
Fuck off! No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's fucking not. It is CGI.
Done.
Crap.
Speaking of true cinema,
there is
color
more CGI
out
in Avatar than the entire MCU.
So there is a new trailer for a true cinema film called Color Out of Space. It's the latest adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft. And get this, it is going to be starring one of my favorite actors. There's a special place for this guy.
I already saw him.
Nicolas Cage and Tommy Chong are going to be in this fucking movie. I'm so excited for this.
I love how William and I are just silent.
Yep, pretty much. Let me go on record to say I have the utmost respect for both those actors for everything that they've done. They've both given us iconic movies, lines, stories, life events, and I will never shit on them. They're great for everything that they've done. But I mean, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. As of late, especially Nicolas Cage is just
oh, fuck off. Mandy was amazing.
Okay, whatever. I'm
and
waiting
Dad
for the next Rock, or I'm waiting for the next Face Off.
Oh, come on, Nick Cage is
even
great,
Raising Arizona.
Oh, Raising Arizona is so good.
That was
so
fucking
great.
Good. Great. But anyway, since we're on movie news and we talk about streaming services and whatnot, I don't know if you guys notice or not. There is a new, literally, because I dove into this because I'm at some point I'm going to hit that red tape of sign up and give us your credit card. So I dove in head first because I'm at some point, whenever somebody says, "Oh, this is completely free," there's always that line where you finally reach it, and it's now we need a credit card. Now we.
Well, what streaming service are you talking about?
Tubi.
Oh, Tubi. Gotcha.
I don't know if you guys have heard of it or if you guys have it.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, I've never used it, but I've heard about it.
I used it this past week. It's Tubi, literally, and it's exactly what it says it is. It's free movies and TV. Granted, a lot of the movies could be considered B movies or even they're good movies, but they're not they don't stream everywhere. They don't come out of movie theaters. And like you said, it has commercials, but it is completely free. And it also has TV shows as well.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for something different, there's literally what I absolutely love, what sold me on this service. there's literally a whatchamacallit, a section that it's called not on Netflix or better than Netflix. Something like that. Which I was like, holy shit, you are brand new. Literally, you are like the freshman kid.
And you're throwing shade at Netflix.
And you just fucking nut punched the fucking star quarterback. Like, you got fucking balls. And I was like, oh yeah, on Netflix. And I was like, and I went through, and yeah, I mean, not on Netflix. Although some of them are on Hulu, they are correct. They're not on fucking Netflix. But, you get movies like, let's see, the re-release, or not the re-release, sorry, the remake of Ben-Hur. You have 51st State with Samuel L. Jackson. You have the old movie like Showtime with Robert De Niro and Eddie Murphy. And then you have like The Animal, White Chicks, How to Train Your Dragon, The Wood. So like they have the original Scary Movie, like the series Scary Movie, not like the first ever Scary Movie. But then you get like the not so great movies like The Nut Job, Disaster Movie, 13 Going on 30.
Hey, 13 Going on 30 is a good movie. Shut the fuck up.
I agree. I actually agree with Lewis on that one.
I agree as well, but I had to throw it fucking in there. You have the wannabe Fast 2 Furious on 2 wheels.
I hear people screaming at the radio, what the fuck do you mean? That's a great movie.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Speaking of guilty pleasures, there's also Boondock Saints.
Hey.
Oh, speaking of guilty pleasures, there's going to be another.
When you do it, your cousin groans. I caught him half grown and turned him around. Yes, that's a victory. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
I've actually been playing a game that stars Norman Reedus this entire weekend, that I'm completely engrossed in it.
Nice.
What is it?
Death Stranding. I don't know how to.
Is that good?
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it off air, but it's the weirdest game I've ever played in my freaking life, but it's incredible.
This one also has the Passion of the Christ and Dances with Wolves. So like I said, it's all over the place. It's got unsolved mysteries. The entire series.
Yes, that's what I started watching there.
So if you're looking for something different that's not your usual Netflix and whatnot, what did I say? It's called Tubi.
Tubi?
Tubi or not Tubi? I'm bad with names.
He's trying to talk over me. That's why.
Ubi.
Sorry.
Go. Okay, Lewis, you were gonna say something.
So, perfect segue actually with the streaming networks. Woody Allen is officially.
That's what you get, Branden.
Woody Allen is officially settling his lawsuit with Amazon, and he actually won the lawsuit finally. So there's been a reason that he hasn't made a movie in the last year, is because he made a movie. It got released in Europe, but not here in the US, because Amazon had him by the balls in this lawsuit and wasn't able to release it. But he is out of contract with Amazon now. So he has another movie coming out next year. And this man has consistently made a movie since '69.
And just kind of like moving along as well. But didn't Woody Allen? Yeah, wrong dude. My bad. Isn't he like in hot water now for like some more sexual harassment suits or allegations?
No, it's been the same thing.
Like, okay, well,
it's been the same thing since the '90s with Mia Farrow.
I mean, I don't doubt that, but it's still like I will still forever find him gross.
Oh,
the fact
100%.
Like,
the man's a scumbag.
I don't care if she was legal or not. I mean, yes, it makes a hell of a difference whether she was legal or not. But the fact that you divorce your wife and marry your adopted daughter, fuck out of here! I am not gonna give you any of my money.
The way you said
I don't give him money.
The way you said adoptive daughter sounded like Christopher Walken for a second there, William. Adoptive daughter.
I don't care if it's your wife and you marry your adopted daughter. It's still kind of gross. So we're gonna move on. But yeah, that's also the reason. Like, I really don't like much of I honestly, and it's no secret, I really don't like his movies. I'm not a fan of his movies, and call it cinema all you want. It's he's done good for the he has done a lot of good movies that are just not my cup of tea, and they don't really entertain me all that much, and that's why I don't really watch much of his stuff, if anything. But
I think I could count
anyway.
with my fingers out of how many movies that I don't like out of his 59 movies that are out there.
I am not going to sit through this.
But so last thing that I want to bring up. Last thing that I wanted to bring up, and it's something that I don't want to sit through.
That one got him good.
Oh my god, that was perfect. He's just like, he's completely quiet. He's just like, I am not going to sit through this.
I wasn't going to say it.
Okay, I was just stopping you before you went down that rabbit hole.
I wasn't going down that.
Not going to do that.
One thing that I am not interested in at this point is new Paranormal Activity movie coming out in 2020.
Are they rebooting the franchise? Or
nope,
are they just...
it is just going to be a continuation.
I like the first one.
I like a bunch of them, but I'm done. That's it.
Yeah,
we don't need any more.
I like the first one. The second one's cool. The third one is already where it starts getting a little and then not.
They actually started doing better after the fourth one. The third one was shit. The fourth one, Ghost Dimension, and what's the other one? There's another one.
Something ones. Something.
Yes,
yeah.
Those were fucking good.
Okay.
A lot better than you would, way better than you would have expected it to be.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely good. But that's wrap up on my side.
Okay. That's it? We're done with the segment?
Yep.
I think we are. I don't think there's really much else to
All right.
Yeah, no. I
That's
know whatchamacallit. I don't know if I'll ever be like if any of us will review it. Last thing. There's a new series that came out on Netflix called The Greatest Events of World War II in Color.
Is it good?
Watch it.
Really?
If you're a historian, or if you like old the old repertoire movies that were, it's very well done. It's very well depicted. Watch it. I'm not even gonna. I want to say I'm not gonna waste a review on it because everybody should be watching this. This is not about my opinion, and my opinion is gonna sway you.
Yeah.
If you're into this, you will love it. If you're not, but it is extremely well done, and the amount of work that went behind to do this series, this season, is well worth it. So check it out.
Awesome.
What'd you think of Midway? I know that you saw it.
We'll talk about it off air.
All right. Stay tuned to this quick break when we come at you with our new, not so new segment, the movie bucket list.
Welcome to an exploration of sight and mind, a travel through the world of films and the artists that bring you these masterpieces. Do you love films, directors, actors, cinematographers, editors, composers, or any of the hundreds of artists that bring you these feats of art? I am Luislacau, your host into the world of films, your guide to Man Bites Retro.
All right, guys, welcome back for our new, not so new segment, the movie bucket list. This is where William chooses a movie at random
from his magical
posters.
From my magical flying posters of Narnia, since we're adding to it.
Yes.
Not from Narnia. Cool.
He surprises Lewis and I with the film, and then we all talk amongst ourselves, and we basically decide if it should or should not be on this list.
Well,
I saw that jab, William. I saw that jab.
What jab?
The little smirk and everything.
Oh, no, trust me, the jab's coming. You haven't even felt the jab yet. If you saw it, you're about to feel it, because you and I, we're not about to agree this week.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Boy, I'm ready. Let's go, baby.
Gloves are coming off.
Hit me
the
with
bell
it.
is about to ring. Here it goes. And this is not like a fuck you back to like some of the movies that you've made us watch for like main review. This is just how I feel. So you're going to be like, oh my God, but you're going to feel like I'm about to suck the soul out of you.
Okay.
So with the release of Dr. Sleep.
Oh, fuck off.
This week's entry is The Shining.
Yeah, definitely.
And I do not believe it should be on the 100 bucket list.
You do not.
I do not.
Why the fuck not?
Okay. The awkward silence. So again, it is a good movie. It is a classic. I don't think that, like, my honest opinion is that though
Spit
it is
it out.
a classic, although it's a classic movie,
Okay.
I
Spit it
don't
out,
think
fat
it's
boy.
something. I don't think
Jesus,
that it's
let him.
something that somebody has to watch on a bucket list of movies.
Okay.
I think there are other, especially Stanley Kubrick movies that are better.
Okay.
But also the fact that the whole, to me, the whole fact that it's based on a Stephen King novel, and Stephen King absolutely hated it. To me, it's like, you've done, you know what I mean? Like, you know you've gone wrong somewhere when you're like, I'm gonna make your book into a movie, and then you present the movie, and the guy's like, no.
But I imagine Stephen King was like at the end of the film, like the credits roll, and then he looks over at Stanley Kubrick and he's like, "The fuck was that?"
Yeah, you guys ever watch what was the
Room
name?
237?
Saving Mr. Banks?
Uh-huh.
Where it's like the story of how basically Walt Disney took the Mary Poppins story and basically like bitch slapped her with it, going, I'm going to make it my way. And at the end, she absolutely hated it. That's how I feel Stephen King was with The Shining.
Well, put it this way, Stephen King and Kubrick, I've read so many articles and books about this whole interaction between these two freaking icons of their own respective fields. And I
agree with you on that, by the way. I will agree with you on that they are icons in their respective fields, and I will not take that away from them. And I'm not saying that they're not. I don't want anybody to think that I'm thinking like, that I'm trying to shit on either one of them.
No, I know. But they hated each other. Stanley Kubrick literally got to the point where when he bought the manuscript from Stephen King, he told him, because Stephen King tried to interject his, will on the film, he literally told him, fuck off. You have nothing to do with the film. I bought the rights to the book. Now leave me the fuck alone. And he literally closed the door on Stephen King's face.
Honestly, Stephen King's stuff is good, but like my man does not know how to end a book to save his life.
Not only does he not know how to end a book, he has great ideas, but his execution always has problems. And the perfect example of that is Maximum Overdrive. This is him doing what he wants to do. That movie is fucking horrible. So there's little jabs in The Shining where Stephen King is like, hey, fuck you, insert knife deeper into Stephen King's heart, And there's one scene in particular that is just, it's beautiful. And every time I watch it, I point it out to whoever I'm watching it with, is the Beetle sequence. The actual car was supposed to be a different color. And then, Kubrick is like, fuck off. I'm going to change the color of the car. And then he adds a beetle run off the road, completely like destroyed by an 18-wheeler on the side of the road. And that's the color of the actual beetle that's supposed to be in the movie. Which is so great. It's like, it's a giant like middle finger at Stephen King. Yeah. It's like, fuck off. This is my movie. I'm going to do what I want. And so Kubrick, he's a fucking master at his craft, and he builds the tension of this film. This is not like the book. He grabbed the book's idea and used the outline of the book to make his own project. That's how you have to look at it. Like,
have any of you guys seen Dr. Sleep? I know this is not.
I haven't yet. No,
I have. It's fucking amazing. It's Mike Flanagan.
I know.
So that's all I have to say. And it's exactly like you would expect a Mike Flanagan film to be.
Okay, gotcha.
Like, no holds bar. It's fucking phenomenal.
Gotcha.
But The Shining, it builds the tension. It builds the crescendo at the end of the film so perfectly. This is literally masterful horror. It's that suspense horror that gets under your skin. The music is iconic. The characters are iconic.
So I mean, like, although there are 3 Stanley movies on this bucket list, by the way.
Well, yeah.
But I think that so the 3 of them are The Shining, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and A Clockwork Orange. Those are the 3 movies which I think this is the last of the Kubrick movies, actually, because I think we've covered the other 2 already.
We have.
I think that instead of The Shining, there are other choices for Kubrick movies, which I think would have been better.
Which one?
Well, Full Metal Jacket and Spartacus, to name 2 of them.
Spartacus isn't really a Kubrick film, technically. He only jumped in at the last half of the film. Yes, he's credited as director,
like, he's credited for it, but still.
He even hates that fucking film. He hated that film.
All right, Full Metal Jacket. I think Full Metal Jacket is a better movie than The Shining.
I don't agree. I think it's right up there. It's right after it, I would say. But, yeah.
Damn,
I would probably put Eyes Wide Shut over all of those.
Eyes Wide Shut is phenomenal.
Or then if you really, since you already have 2 Kubrick movies on here, which I don't want to, like, they're not the same, but they're still, like, very serious movies. If you want to put another Kubrick movies on here, I would have gone with Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah, but that's not a classic. I wouldn't consider that a classic.
Strangelove is an absolute classic.
It's
Maybe
fucking
not
phenomenal
like Shining
film.
Classic, but
I wouldn't put it up there
to me,
an
it goes
audience.
to show that. Well, I don't know, because, like, to me, if I'm making like a bucket list, right, and I've got like 2 movies by Kubrick, 2001, which absolutely deserves to be on here, and A Clockwork Orange, which absolutely deserves to be on here, both of them, because just the way that they are, to show, like, if I'm teaching a class and I'm like, these 2 are made by the same the director, right? Now, let me show you something that was also made by the same director, which is completely different than what you've just seen, and you would never imagine that it's the same guy. And I would show Strangelove. Because to me, that shows that
the range.
Exactly. The range that he has. Putting Shining, 2001, and Clockwork Orange on the same bucket list, it's not really showing that the guy had range, which we know he has. But also, between the 3 of them, I think The Shining's the one that should not be on this list and should be if you. Like
what is it that you don't like about the film? I'm curious. Like, I'm really curious.
I've seen the movie 3 times. I've been bored to death 3 times. It just it's not for me. It's not. I don't know. It's just I have a hard time staying awake. I have a hard time staying focused. The iconic scenes that we all know are there and they're great. But other than that, it's like
I do admit I do agree with you. The beginning of the movie is slow. It's very slow.
But it's on purpose.
Well, yeah, no, it absolutely is slow. But it absolutely is on purpose. But still, it's like, and I understand maybe back then Shining's 1980, right?
80, yeah.
Yeah, 1980. Maybe what passed as scary and horror back then is very different than what is now, or what I find scary in horror. I don't find The Shining scary. Like, maybe psychologically scary that a guy can lose himself, but another reason why I hate being in a room by myself with no noise, it drives anybody nuts. But it's just, I don't know. I never understood why the girls look like they're the same age, because they're not supposed to be the same age.
Well, again, Stanley Kubrick threw out the book out the
window. You're talking about the twins?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not twins.
They're not supposed to be twins.
No, because at the beginning, so Kubrick did throw out the book, but in his own movie, the guy says the girls were like 8 and 9, like they were different ages. But yet they're depicted as twins in the movie. Like,
but again, what's scarier,
Yeah,
girls that are the exact same height, dressed the exact same way, holding hands at the end of a hallway.
But yeah, I don't think that The Shining should be on the bucket list of movies.
So
Yeah.
I definitely disagree with that. I think
I
that
know.
this is one of those classics that has influenced directors like Mike Flanagan, that has directed some of the recent classic horror, and also even the aforementioned Jordan Peele. Stanley Kubrick is one of his major influences. So, The Shining in particular for his genre that he likes. And a lot of the modern horror that we have nowadays, especially like the A24, they grab a book from The Shining and they use that as a basis for a lot of these horror films that we have now. So this is a modern classic that has influenced all the genre since it released 40 years ago, 39 years ago. And I think it's influenced all the modern horror that has become iconic in our everyday lives, especially the psychological horror, being able to get into the mind of a psychopath and all that stuff that really wasn't done in horror. That whole getting into the mind of a killer never really happened. It was always very cliche, very, stab, you're dead, stab, you're dead, not getting into the psyche of a horror person, into the horror of a killer or anything like that until Kubrick did this.
Yeah.
So I think it's influenced my favorite subgenre of horror, which is the psychological horror.
Yeah, I like psychological horror too.
Exactly. We wouldn't have that if it wasn't for, at least in a modern aspect, we wouldn't have it if it wasn't for The Shining. So it's a must. I put it in the top 10.
I agree. Not the top 10, but I think that it should be on the list. The Descent of Madness of a Man, things that Kubrick did, like the undershot of when he's at the door of the freezer talking to Wendy.
Which that was actually Kubrick holding the camera, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
It's
The very iconic, like, here's Johnny scene, which has been like, done again and again, like to death in countless amounts of other shows and movies.
Yeah, there's actually an amazing article in one of the books that I've read about Kubrick, is that The Shining has been homaged or referenced in almost 6,000 films or TV shows.
I haven't seen it in a while, but like I do think that there are things that are inherently wrong with the movie, like the whole Shining thing. They don't really go into like too much detail about it,
and that's what Stephen King's biggest gripe with the film was, and that actually gets resolved in Dr. Sleep.
Okay. Yeah, because I felt like it was brought up, that Danny has The Shining, and so does what's the black guy's name?
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, they both have The Shining, but it's never really explained what The Shining is.
Yeah,
and it's just there. And I don't know. I felt like maybe Kubrick could have done more, but I guess with Dr. Sleep they resolved that.
It's honestly, this film with Dr. Sleep is going to be the perfect companion for each other. Like it resolves and kind of redeems Stephen King's version of events and what happens in his book. So if you watch The Shining and then Dr. Sleep, you actually get a full picture of what King was actually coming up with.
But I do think there are like great things about the movie. Like you kind of feel like you're going insane with him because you're in this like very large hotel. It's very lonely. I would never do that. I don't know if you guys would ever overlook a hotel like that.
I would.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Overlook hotel.
Fuck
I get
it. But that's on my bucket list to go see is the Stanley Hotel in Colorado because I'm like, fuck yes.
Yeah. So I do think that there's a lot of cool things, but then there are like things that are dropped, like the whole Shining thing, and then there are like sequences that I know maybe aren't supposed to make sense. Like they're done on purpose not to make sense, but to me,
like the bear giving a blowjob.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck is the point of that scene? Yeah, that scene, like, I've never understood it. I'm just like, why the fuck is this here?
I saw a funny thing about Stephen King this morning on Facebook, and I wish I would have saved it for the show tonight, where it was like Stephen King novels summed up, and there's like, Carrie, the girl is good. Oh no, she's evil, run. The Shining. The house is good. Oh no, it's evil. Run. Cujo. The dog is is good. Oh no, he's evil. Run. And then at the bottom it says, also see the car, the clown, and it was like something else. And I was like, yep, that's about right.
Yep. So, do I think it should be on the list? Yes, but I'm not gonna put it in the top 10. I'll put it in like the top 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So it's a straight division. One person off the list, one person in the mid, and one person in the upper.
Yeah, in the upper echelons. Yep. All right, guys. So stay tuned at this quick break when we come at you live with the main segment of our show, the main review, which is She-Devil.
Yes, it is.
Oh shit! I need to watch that real quick.
Hey, you lovely nerds. This is Nisha M, your geek mom from Diversely Geek. Diversely Geek is a global non-profit that promotes self-acceptance by highlighting the positive message of fandom. We're all fans of something that has affected us for the better. We like to express that love by embracing our inner geeks with you all on our podcast Diversely Geek Discusses. We also have a podcast for any Whovians out there called Doctor Who in Review. We often partner with Manbitesmedia, so you're bound to come across us sooner or later. You can find us all on our podcast platforms as Diversely Geek Discusses and on social media platforms as Diversely Geek. You can also subscribe on our website, diverselygeek.org, where you can find our podcasts, videos, original content, articles, and so much more. And remember, there's some good in this world, Mr. Aslan.
All right, guys, welcome back for our main segment of the show, the main review, live, which is Lewis's pick, She-Devil.
Yes.
1989, starring Meryl Streep and Roseanne, and what's this dude's name? I forgot. The husband. Do any of you know his name?
No.
Ed Begley Jr.?
Yes.
Basically, Roseanne plays, what's her name? Ruth. She's married to Ed Begley's character, Robert Patchett. And they're at a party, and she basically bumps into Meryl Streep's character, which is a famous author, Mary Fisher.
Yes.
And spills something all over her, and then she goes to basically get some stuff to clean her off. And her basically husband and Meryl Streep hit it off, and he starts having an affair, and then basically ruins Roseanne's life.
And Roseanne has 2 kids as well, so
yes.
It's kind of
they're married,
to the
have
whole
2 children. Story. Yeah, and then basically the plot of the movie is that she wants to ruin her ex-husband's life.
And makes a list of it.
Yes. She makes
what will
5
ruin
things.
His life?
5 things. What is it? Here. His home, his family, his career, and his freedom.
Yeah.
There it is.
And I really, I went into this film, and the first 20 minutes of this film are really bad. Really bad. Hallmark Channel 80s, Hallmark Channel original films. Bad. But then there's something that happens after those 20 minutes that it engrosses you. You fall for it.
So what part of the movie
captures you?
What part of the movie actually? When do you think the movie actually gets, relatively okay or watchable?
I think it's after the party sequence. After the party sequence, when he starts having the affair and all that stuff, that's when it actually starts getting good, I think. How about you, Branden?
He is a total asshole.
Oh, 100%.
He is not a redeemable person whatsoever.
In any way or form.
And not to mention, Meryl Streep is not, her character is not great either.
Oh, yeah. Total fucking sociopath.
Yeah. They're both horrible, even though towards the end of the movie, you really feel for her, but then whatever.
Not at all.
not at all. Not
at all. Not in the least bit. William, you've been quiet. What?
I guess it's karma. She got karma. Yeah. William.
Yeah.
He's literally fast forwarding through the movie times 20. He's
I'm watching the movie right now really quick, and I'm trying to make an idea what the fuck happened. No, I actually watched the movie last week. It's been a while since I did that, though, because there was a couple of times where I was like, Puck, and I'm like, yeah. And you will notice the difference. It's like probably I think like in the first maybe 15 episodes, there's like a couple of times in there which if you listen to me talk, you kind of like,
scenes.
He's literally just watching this as we're speaking right now. But anyway, I figure we're like 80-something episodes in the future now. I'm good.
He learned his lesson.
Yeah, right.
Learned his lesson.
Right.
All right, okay, so what are your thoughts on She-Devil, William?
I mean, shit, I remember watching this movie when it first came out.
I'd never seen this movie. This is the first time I've ever seen this movie.
Yeah, this was like the third time I've seen this movie. My mom actually, I'd watched the movie with my mom back in the day.
Okay.
And I forgot what, like, I know I'd watched it on TV at some point. I forgot when, but I think it's funny. I think when did this movie come out?
89.
89.
I think that for what it was back then, and just like the scorned wife that takes revenge, and it was kind of like a hurrah for all the women that had been scorned by like what they would consider or call, more beautiful, successful women, and whose husbands were having an affair on them. And he was kind of like, at the time, Roseanne was like top of her game.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't blaming, medication for anything she was saying.
She hadn't fucked up the national anthem yet. So like, she was still representing the middle class, which usually, I mean, let's face it, she's middle class in this movie, up until she makes it big and starts running the successful business herself.
Which is really funny.
Which is really funny.
I love how she grabs from that nursing home and then grabs the Edna lookalike character and totally goes and starts her own business. I was like, yes, this is awesome.
I absolutely love, oh my God.
What's her name? I can't remember her name.
What, the older lady?
Linda Hunt. Linda
Hunt. Absolutely fucking loved her. When I first saw Linda Hunt, real quick, was in Kindergarten Cop.
Yes.
And she played like the headmistress, which was fucking great. Absolutely loved her. Loved her ever since. I could have sworn she was the one that voiced Edna in The Incredibles because
I'm sure she was based off. Like it was Edna. Based off of her.
Somebody looked at her and went, we need to make her into something. But don't forget that she was also in a Disney cartoon. She was in Pocahontas back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah, she was the willow tree, right?
Yes,
yep.
She was. But Linda Hunt's one of those, like, she'll pop up in different places that you like, what the hell? Like Kindergarten Cop, Pocahontas. She's in Solo, a Star Wars story.
She's in Solo?
She's in Solo.
Where?
One of the characters.
Nah, really?
I can't remember the name of the character, but yeah, she's in it.
That's wow. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken,
this movie has a weird cast and crew because you know who's the composer of the music?
Who?
Howard fucking Shore.
Oh my.
Huh.
Yeah. So Aviator, The Simpsons, all those soundtracks. That was him that did that. Twilight. What do you call it? Lord of the Rings. Everything. Like it's fucking bizarre.
By the way, my favorite scene in this movie is when Roseanne walks out of the house with this.
Oh, and the house blows up,
and
it's totally green screen,
and the house just blows up behind her. I'm like, this is the best scene ever.
She's also in 1984's Dune. She's in Maverick.
Yes, she's in Maverick. I forgot about that.
Yeah, she is.
Holy shit.
I kind of wanted also the movie to maybe have ended in a different, like, in the sense of I wanted her to actually tell her husband, I'm the one that fucked up your life.
I was hoping for that too at the end. I was like come on.
I am the one that fucked up your life. And he would have been like, and then like you give him, like they give you the whole like.
I think that he figures that out when he turns around in court and sees her there.
Give me that satisfying, like her telling him like, yeah, I fucked up your life.
And not only that the fact that she kind of just completely obliterates the last 6 months of her life by saying, "Oh, I can take her back."
She also like fucking like just like tells her children to fuck off and like live with their dad. And
I mean, it's not like they were living in the fucking street.
No,
Let's
I
be
know.
honest.
I know.
They were living better than she
I mean,
was.
like she gives. Yes, she does kind of like just drop him off on the doorstep and went like, "See ya, fuck you,
Yo, peace.
goodbye."
Yeah.
But I mean, she it's like dropping off. Like it's like if we have 2 kids and we drop them off on J.K. Rowling's fucking doorstep.
Yeah,
They're not exactly gonna fucking suffer.
exactly.
And what's
there
with
are
that?
some scenes though. No, go ahead.
Yeah, what's with that scene towards the end when
The red eyes.
when Meryl Streep comes in and she has just found out that he is like having an affair with the young girl, and like the daughter is like dancing
I
with.
was literally about to say that. I'm like, there are some scenes that like nowadays would
sketchy.
never be able to like make it through. Like the young daughter that's like make you wonder if she's banging the fucking butler.
Yeah, she's clearly like 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
Like young.
And like she's like in this little striptease thing, and he's like holding her, and she's like straddling him.
Dude, they're
like,
literally like close enough to kiss. Like just lean in a little bit more, and like you're gonna kiss him. It was just really like, what the fuck? Where did this come from?
Yeah.
I do love the fact that you can tell how old this movie is because at the end, when Meryl Streep goes on the talk show, when she turns her lives around, it's fucking Sally Jesse Raphael that's fucking interviewing her, and it's like, wow, okay, this movie officially dated itself.
There's a lot of other elements that dated it, but sure.
There definitely are. Sally Jesse Raphael is definitely just like the boom, like right statement right in the middle of it all.
Also,
was great.
Meryl Streep's mom is incredible.
Dude, she is great in this movie.
Meryl Streep's mom's my mom, which is fucking like my mom is a no holds bar. Like you think Latino moms are like something to be feared. Have a pure blood Italian mother. Pure blood Italian mother, and I guarantee you that she'll run circles around your abuela.
Maybe. I'll take your word for it. But
trust me, like
the couple scenes when her mom is just fucking drinking, like ha ha ha, like cackling in the back. I'm like, yes.
Dude, she's great in a bunch of movies too. Like I forgot what other movies she's been in. That I know she's in Wall Street. Both of them.
I'll say this: it was a pleasant. She-Devil was a pleasant surprise. I thought coming into this movie that it was going to be a really like shitty 80s comedy, and I was like kind of pleasantly surprised. I told you it was kind of enjoyable.
So, I told you it's
she's
a weird
in,
enjoyable.
Midnight Cowboy.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
1969.
So what I would give She-Devil like a 7. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, same.
I'll give it a 6. It's not a good movie, but it's fucking enjoyable.
It's definitely enjoyable.
So it's streaming on Amazon Prime for anybody that didn't catch it last week.
Yeah. All right, guys. So stay tuned after this quick break when we come at you not live, never live, with the final segment of our show, the individual reviews.
As the songs of awakening rang through, the world was created. The silence was broken.
Middle-earth, with its rolling hills, broken mountains, flowing rivers, and beautiful forest, was created.
Cellar Door is a journey into the mythology, the mystery, and the beauty of Middle-earth. Sit back.
Close your eyes.
And imagine.
All right, guys, welcome back for the final segment of our show. Never live, the individual reviews. Lewis is going to be going first.
Yes. So I want to start off this.
Can we not do Captain Kirk?
I'm not gonna do fucking Captain Kirk.
Please,
God damn
don't
it!
fucking do Captain. Just tell me what the fucking movie is.
Fuck you, William. Fuck you. I was starting all solemn and all like
I'm gonna start the sentence and you finish. The movie I watched this week is.
So, lately I've been acting, a fool in some parts of the show and stuff like that, and saying a little bit racy comments and all that stuff. So
a little bit racy, okay.
It's all part of.
I'm sorry. I'm shitting on your parade, and I apologize.
How fucking dare you?
I'm stopped. Go ahead.
So it's all about shits and giggles, and none of us here are fucking racist in any way or form. My pick this week is something that I think it's an important topic to bring up, because in recent news and recent politics and everything, there's a lot of shit going around that is bringing this up, and it's stirring this pot again that we thought was already being, pushed down and stuff like that, and it's not, and it's coming back up and boiling back up again. I want to quote one of the lines because I think it's kind of important too. It's one of the characters says, "See this," and he points at his chest and he goes, "This means not welcome." For anybody that doesn't know what that is,
You son of a bitch.
that is Derek Vineyard in American History X.
You son of a bitch.
Nice.
You know what's funny?
Did he steal yours?
No, you know what's funny? I was gonna give you guys two choices, and one of them was gonna be American History X. You son of a
damn
bitch.
it, Lewis!
So,
I love that
Son
movie.
of a bitch.
I know, and so
God.
did I. I watched it again this weekend just because I really did. I love that fucking movie. This is one of the most impactful films I've ever seen in my
Out of
life.
all the movies in this fucking world, you had to choose that one. You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. God damn it. I can never win. Fucking win. I swear to God, dude. Go review.
That's how you know we're related.
God damn it, man.
So this is streaming on Netflix currently, and if you don't know what the story is, it's basically this guy, he loses this teenager, he loses his father, that was a firefighter, basically in a tragic way, and because of that, he quickly escalates into this racial frenzy that his father kind of implanted the seeds of this. And this is where I want to kind of touch upon, is that these seeds that are implemented by our parents, that were implemented by our parents all the time, these little racy comments, stuff like that I don't know about you guys, but my parents were very guilty of this, of saying little racy jokes and stuff like that. As
I think everyone's, to a certain extent, I think everyone is
Everyone's
guilty
a
of.
little racist sometimes.
So my dad used to say comments like this all the time, very much like the father character in this film is. And I never appreciated it. I never I was like, why is he saying this shit? Like, I say it as jokes and stuff like that with friends and all that stuff, and with you guys, because you guys we're all like best friends type of thing. So it's not a big deal. But I realized after you guys pointed it out last week that some of the comments that I've said has been pushing that envelope a little bit too much. And I agree with you guys after hearing back those episodes. And I think this is a perfect way to bring this conversation forward, because none of us here are racist. None of us here will ever honestly belittle another race or anybody, honestly, for that matter. I don't care what it is. We would never belittle anybody in any way or form. We're all about bringing people up and stuff like that. And this film, it shows the ugly side of hatred in both sides of the coin. It doesn't just show the hatred of African Americans, but it also shows the hatred of white people as well, in both sides of the community. And it shows that hatred in any way or form is bad, any aspect that you look at it, because the film starts with a murder on one side and ends with a murder on another side.
That scene in the beginning is very, very harsh.
It is, but the scene at the end is as harsh, I think.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
So,
but for different reasons. I don't know
exactly.
If to the listener, if you've seen the movie, it'll make sense. If you haven't, then
exactly. I want to leave it as vague as possible when it comes to that. But this is a classic in film history. I think that this film deserves to be up there with the top 100 films of all time. This is something that is one of those must watches, like Stand By Me and all these other films that are presented in film school. What do you call it? Malcolm X. These movies need to be shown, because they need to show where hatred can lead and what hatred can do. And the fact that as soon as he gets put in prison, he suddenly starts redeeming himself. through the actions of a person that doesn't allow racism to get to him. And I think that just very much like that documentary that we saw on the alt-right that we all agreed on was very crucial. It's all about the upbringing and your exposure to a certain culture that creates and fosters racism. And once you're exposed to both sides, your racism starts diminishing because we all see that there's humor, there's characteristics in all of us that are exactly the same, no matter what color our skin is, no matter what our belief systems are, any of that stuff. In the core, we're all humans, all of us as a collective. And this film portrays that perfectly. This is a 10 out of 10 film. This is in my top 20 films of all time. Like, it's that good. And it's a film that every once in a while I need to watch because it puts into perspective a lot of things that are going on. And still to this day, it's as poignant as it was 30 years ago when this film came out.
Yeah.
Which is sad to say that, by the way. Like,
it's not 30 years, it's 20 years.
It's 20, yeah, no, but I'm not saying like that timeline. I'm saying the fact that 20 years ago, this movie was made, and to this day, it still pertains. You would think that 20 years later, you'd be like, okay, well, you know, we've gotten further, we've got long, we've done...
No, man.
No.
Nope.
Racism will always be a thing, unfortunately.
It really
I don't think that will ever go away. I don't think, as much as people are like, you know, want racism to go away, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that will never, ever go away.
I don't think so either. And the cast of this film, if you don't know, Edward Norton, Edward Furlong, Jennifer Lyon, Ethan
Russ.
Suplee, Fairuza Balk. I mean,
William Russ, which is the dad.
Yeah, which he's freaking great.
Yeah.
I mean, the cast is fucking phenomenal in this. Guy Torry, which is the one that is in the prison and turns him around. He is such a great actor too. Avery Brooks, which is the principal. He's something to behold in this film, honestly. I love how real he is. And there's another scene where Elliot Gould, which is one of the teachers, has this conversation at the dinner table. And that's what the opening line that I just said at the beginning of the segment was about, that he's having a fight because he is Jewish. That teacher that's dating his mom is Jewish, and he bears out his chest that has a swastika on it. And so says that this is not welcome. You are not welcome.
Yeah. And
that, I don't know why, but that scene is so impactful because it led to the events that spark, that the catalyst of this whole film, which it's one of the least gory but most like shocking scenes you'll ever see in your life. It's one of those things, it's the sound where you hear the teeth clack on to that cement. You hear the clacking of the teeth on the cement. And then it completely, you don't see shit, really.
Yeah.
But it's jarring. Like, it gets you, it fills you with hatred.
Why'd you have to pick this movie?
So yeah, that's my review on it. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. How about you guys?
I'll give it a 9. Why'd you have to pick this movie? I hate you. I hate you so much, William. What's your rating?
Oh, I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Because you're like, I hate you so much, William. I'm like, I fucking hate you too.
No. I'm telling I hate my cousin because he chose this movie. Damn you. So what's your rating of
American History X? So I gotta give it like a 9.5.
Nice. Okay. All right. So William, you're next.
Well, shit, I gotta follow that now.
Seriously,
that's what you say every week.
Yeah, no, I know, but I mean, like, I don't exactly have, like... Usually if you do something serious, I'm like, oh, I'm glad you did something serious because I'm doing something funny and kind of, like, uplift the mood. I'm not.
It's
all
okay.
right.
It's okay.
I know. I can't be serious all the time. So I got to talking with one of my managers at the other day at work, and we were talking about the range of certain actors and how, like, sometimes they surprise you in some roles because you're so used to typecasting them in, like, crappy, funny, satirical roles. And we were just happened to be talking about Sacha Baron Cohen. And I'm like, I'm okay with him. Like, there was Borat, which blew up back in, like, 07, 08. And then he did Bruno. He does, like, Ali G. But he's done some serious stuff as well. And he goes, have you seen his new show or the new series on Netflix? And I'm like, no. Well, there's a show. It's a 6-part episode or 6-part season. It's called The Spy. It is based on, basically, this drama tells the astonishing true story of Israel's most prominent spy, Eli Cohen, who infiltrated the Syrian government in the 1960s. And basically, it's a series, obviously, about a spy which infiltrates the Syrian government and for Mossad, which then helps them win the 6-Day War back in the 60s.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Right? And it's Sacha Baron Cohen, which you would never fucking think he would do something like this. But here we are. It's directed by Gideon Raff. It's got a pretty good cast. The only person that I really recognized was Noah Emmerich, who he was the assistant coach in the movie Miracle about the 1980 USA hockey team. He was also Truman's best friend in The Truman Show, if you remember that.
Oh, shit.
He was in Super 8. He was in Wind Talkers. So he's definitely had, like, a wide variety. He was in Last Action Hero and Frequency, just to give you an idea of...
I love Frequency. That is such a
I love that movie. That movie's so
I gotta
good.
find that movie, and maybe one day I'll be nice to you guys, and I'll make that my main review, just so we can have a feel-good movie for the week. But it'll only come after Lewis gives us a very good feel-good movie for the week. So
I don't do feel-good movies.
Exactly. So, admittedly, I'm only halfway through. I'm only 3 episodes in. But again, it's only 6 episodes, and they're about 45 to 50 minutes each. It is very well done. It gives you very much a feel of Munich. If you've ever seen it, it's very, like, you can tell it's a biopic. That movie was
boring as shit.
Munich was good.
That movie was boring as fuck.
Go suck a dick. Wow, that just came out so naturally, which scares me as well.
There was so much anger behind that. Jeez.
Anyway, it is well done. It is definitely. It's not bad. Did you guys watch Chernobyl?
Yes,
I have not.
Okay. So, if you've seen Chernobyl, you'll enjoy The Spy. Because it's shot at the same kind of pace. It's shot at the... did you like Chernobyl?
So there's 2 good episodes and 5 bad ones?
Wow. Dick.
I love how you're, like, in the minority with that. Like, most people are like, Chernobyl's incredible.
It's a good series. It was a good series. It's just there's 2 really good episodes and then 5 whatever ones.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, so far it's good because literally you see he's a nobody, really. He is picked out simply because of his background. He doesn't have any special skills. He wasn't top of his class of anywhere. He is a everyday married guy, which the government finds and realizes that I believe he's got, like, Syrian background. And looks like it could fit in very well. And they basically tell him, you're going to quit your job. We're going to make you a spy. And he's like, okay. They don't tell him why. They don't tell him the reasons. It's just basically, we're going to make you a spy. And he goes along with it. and he becomes like a great spy in the span of 6 months. He goes from being no one to being fucking James Bond. But it is, like I said, it is less than an hour each episode. It is very well done. If you only ever seen Sacha Baron Cohen in like a certain way, like in the comedic way of like Borat and Bruno and Ali G, this will really surprise you. He's
good when he's not doing comedy. His comedy I can't stand.
His drama is really good.
His drama is incredible. Yes.
He's done some like good dramatic roles, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
He has.
He's done like Hugo. He was in Sweeney Todd. So a lot of people forget that he was in Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, but he was the other guy.
Most of his stuff is comedy. So this is something that you'd be like, wow, like, and he's the main protagonist, as well. So, I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix, so all 6 episodes are on there. You don't have to wait. You have to, and like I said, he plays, this Jewish spy, and, the girlfriend who's Jewish literally just walked by and gave me the thumbs up to show me that, it's okay by her people. So we have the 2 thumbs up. So we have the approval of the chosen ones.
Chosen one.
The chosen one. People in her situation.
Oh my god.
There's a whole backstory to that one. It is not a racist thing at all. It includes a friend of ours, which just kind of like, anyway, but this is more directed for her Easter egg for her when she listens to the show. But watch it. I give it a good, so far, I give it a good 8 out of 10. It could go higher. It could go lower. It depends how they close out. Hopefully, it won't drag too long. But I will let you guys know by the next episode because I intend on finishing it by then.
What's so funny, Lewis?
8 yarmulkes? I'm sorry, I had to. That.
Well, if anything, I wouldn't go with yarmulkes. I would go with
challah bread.
Challah bread. 8 challahs.
Holla!
8 menorah candles, all lit.
Oh! Okay.
It's a lit show, 8 menorah candles.
It's a lit show.
And I got the groan and the shaking of the head. Whatever. Go enjoy your hummus. And no, it's not because she's Jewish. She's actually about to eat hummus before people think, well, that's fucking racist because she's from she's Jewish. She has to eat hummus. No, she's about to fucking eat hummus. I am not racist, people. I am dating a Jew. That makes me not racist.
On that note,
keep saying that to yourself.
Branden, what are you bringing us?
So for my review, I'm going to be reviewing something that I never knew I wanted, but kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm okay with that. And that is El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I never, I watched all of Breaking Bad, and Breaking Bad ends in a way that you kind of don't need any. Yeah, you're satisfied. You kind of don't need that. But then El Camino came around, and at me as a fan, I was like, do I really need this? And after watching the movie, yeah, I don't really mind that I needed this. It was a fun experience. Looking back at last week's episode when I talked about One Piece, about fan service, this movie is straight fan service. They bring back a ton of characters. I won't name who they are, of course. And, as fan service to the fans, basically, you're like, oh, I want to see this character, and you see them on the screen for one final time, I assume. God knows at this point. And we finally get a nice conclusion to Jesse's story, because my man at the end of Breaking Bad, that poor bastard, never gets a break. He really doesn't. Have you seen the show, both of you? I know you have, Lewis, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen it, William?
I'm about halfway through. I started binge watching it,
Okay.
And then I started binge watching other shows. By the way, Knights of Zodiac has been binge watched and done. Just FYI.
Of course.
I'm just
Lewis, what were you gonna say?
So I watched this.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan.
Really?
I was not a
Ooh.
fan of it. I didn't.
Interest-
There was just something about it that I was like, okay, this is a little too on the nose. It's like, haha, this is for fans. Haha, you get it? You
It
get the
definitely-
joke?
It definitely is a movie for fans, and I'm fine with that. It's fan service. You know, it's you can't watch this movie unless you've seen Breaking Bad. Well, let me
It was
rephrase
too
that.
on the nose.
You
there were
can
certain
see it.
scenes where I was like,
Yeah,
yo, for real? Really?
that's fine with me.
It's like
I
all he
en-
needed to do was stop and look at the camera and go, yeah, you remember? You remember?
I enjoyed it, and it's nice to see Jesse get a break and to.
I agree with that. I'll
to
give you
finally
that.
see
Yes.
the conclusion to his story, to know, you know, that it's gonna be okay. You know, it was nice to see that. Yeah, I guess the negatives that it is a little too fan servicey. You know, it's a little too much. Dude, I read up on this movie that there was like a ton of secrecy behind this movie.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like they were
signed
keeping
a crap load of NDAs for this.
Yeah, like certain people they were like they put a bag over their head before they were taken to the place where they were going to shoot the scene.
Well, not only that, even the cast and crew. I had a friend of mine that worked on the thing, and they're like, dude, they literally made us sign an NDA to the point that not only are they liable to sue you, they're liable to sue and take any of your properties. Like, that's how fucking intense it was.
Rip.
It's like, damn.
I feel like that was something that like the MCU probably did with a lot of their.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that they
and
did that with Endgame
I'm-
or some shit.
Unless you were Tom Holland, and they're like, we're gonna give you an easier contract because we know we're gonna end up suing your ass otherwise.
The acting wise, I think everybody does
phenomenal.
a phenomenal job.
Oh my god, yes.
Aaron Paul as Jesse, who is arguably my favorite character in Breaking Bad.
Really?
He does I think, ironically, I think Jesse's the main character of Breaking Bad. It's not Walter.
I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, science bitch.
Magnets, yo! Sorry, I love that. The acting is incredible. It is the final film that what's this guy's name? I totally forgot. I'm gonna sound like a dick. Robert Forster.
Yes.
He
Oh my
died
gosh.
the exact day that El Camino came out.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was just a fun time. It was cool to see something that I never knew I wanted, but when I finally got it, I was like, oh shit, I actually kind of wanted and needed this in my life. I needed closure. I can't even speak. With Jesse's story, and we finally get that, and it's nice. And I'm okay if this is the ending to the other than Better Call Saul, this is the ending to like the Breaking Bad franchise.
It's definitely a good way to end it. I'll give you
yes.
that. The only thing, again, that my critique is the on the nose thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yo,
It's very fan servicey, and that's
if you're not a huge fan of the show, then you're not going to enjoy this film.
Yeah, you can definitely watch it, but you won't get it. It's like the same thing with the One Piece movie that I reviewed last week. It's the same shit, basically. Yeah, you're gonna say, William? I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, like, I feel like a lot of these shows, like when they do like closeout movies, or they do like, we haven't done anything for this in a while, so we're gonna do something. There's always gonna be quite a bit of like fan servicing.
How about the Veronica Mars movie that they came out with? Isn't that like super fan servicey? I've never seen it.
Okay, so I saw the Veronica Mars movie.
Yeah.
I never watched Veronica Mars back in the day. So
Yes.
two things. One, I was able to keep up and watch and everything. And I mean, obviously, even if you haven't seen the show, you realize that somebody's coming back and it's like a fan service. But it's not fan service to where you're like, I don't know what's going on, because like, sometimes they make movies where you're like, I had no idea what the fuck was going on because I
Like
never
this
saw
one.
the show.
This one, you
And
wouldn't be able to
therefore,
watch it.
I don't know what the fuck is happening. Veronica Mars was not the case. Veronica Mars, I watched it because my girlfriend had watched Veronica Mars back in the day.
What's the name of the show?
Veronica Mars.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, not Veronica Jupiter. Okay, Veronica Mars.
Say it one more time,
VM.
please. One more time.
VM.
All right, we're getting off track here. I need to get back to my El Camino shit. All right.
Yeah, we're losing. We're getting lost in space. We're getting too close to Veronica Mars.
Yeah.
I give
I'm
El Camino an 8. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a nice end piece to Breaking Bad, and everyone's performance is top notch. And yeah, I love Breaking Bad, so it was cool to be able to jump into that world one final time. And so yeah, I enjoyed it. It's streaming on Netflix. Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet. So
Louis,
what's your movie?
Louis, what were you gonna give it? I'm sorry.
Okay, as a fan of Breaking Bad, I give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
But
as a
if
movie.
you're not a fan of Breaking Bad, this is a 4.
What the fuck are you watching this movie for? It doesn't matter. All right, my movie.
Saying, like,
yeah, I know. I know. So my choice for next week was originally going to be between 2 films, but of course my cousin, being the asshole that he is, chose one of them, which was American History X, which I said earlier. So we're just gonna go with my second choice, and that is The King, which is streaming on Netflix.
I've been looking at that movie and I'm like, I don't want to watch that.
Well, we're going to. We're going to.
I am so happy. Yeah,
you've watched it, right?
Happy that I went with The Spy instead of The King because I watched it today and I am all caught up for next week.
Awesome,
yes!
Cool. Hey, good for you. All right, yeah.
It was like, where do I go? And then I was like, fuck it. So when you said The King, I'm like, here we go. Oh, also, The Men in the High Castle final season drops this Friday on Prime Video. I need to catch up on that.
Yeah. All right.
I'm a season behind on that.
So for next week, we're going to be reviewing The King, which is on Netflix. So as always, if you enjoyed our show, listen to our other stuff. Madman with a Mic. We got Candlelit Blowjobs, which I know Louis and I are going to be doing some stuff with that very soon.
Yes.
We got Cellar Door, which is Lord of the Rings, all that good stuff with Louis.
Yes,
Wizarding
which
World.
we actually just wrapped up our first season of Cellar Door.
Oh, you're done with it, okay.
With the first season. We're going to be coming back in February with the next season, which is The Cimmerils.
Oh, God. We got Wizarding World with williamphoenix, which I know is also over, but if you like Harry Potter, check that out. And of course, I know he's coming back soon with some new stuff in that world.
Yeah, I mean, like Louis said, it'll probably be after New Year's because we got like stuff that we're getting ready. We got the Christmas special coming up. We got a whole bunch of other shows. I think at some point in the next month or so, we're going to start putting together are we doing an award show again this year?
Oh, yes, we are.
Oh, there you go. Stay tuned for that. So with all that going on, stay tuned. It will come back. It'll probably have a little bit of a different format, but we'll see, and more to follow on that.
Awesome.
Yes.
And of course, visit us at manbitesfilm.com and our sister site, diversitygeek.org. Thank you, Louis.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, William.
Thank you very much, as always.
I am Brandon, and we will see you guys on the next episode of Manbitesfilm.
Woohoo!